What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Cervantes Podcast. Joining me today to discuss current trending topics in pop culture and politics right now are sisters and co-hosts of the Sisters Who Watch podcast, Laura and Shelby Holland. How are you ladies doing today?
Hello,
Amazing.
good.
Hi. Thank you for having us. Of
Yes.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
course.
Okay, so the first trending topic I wanted to discuss with you guys is how the club is not fun anymore. It seems like no one wants to dance. Is it better to just get a section? What do you guys think?
Ooh, this is a good question. I agree. The club isn't anything the way it used to. I remember when I first graduated from college, going out, it was fun. But now these days, when I find myself in a club, I'm just like, why am I here? It just doesn't feel as fun. I've never been in a section. So maybe if I was in a section, I would have a better time. But I've never been in a section. Have either of y'all been in a section of a club before?
I have
No, I
not.
haven't. And sometimes like I'm thinking like I wish like I had the money to afford it because it looks
Right.
the club is so packed and it's like you want to dance, you want to have fun, but you're always like, excuse me, sorry. Like it's very like congested. But then the sections are always like, because probably so expensive, it's so much more spacious. I'm like, maybe like,
Hmm.
when I get my big time producer job, then I can do that. But have you ever been in a section, Shelby?
I have not.
Okay,
To be honest, I'm not the biggest clubber. I feel like my
okay,
clubbing days are behind me. I'm much more of a kickback house party kind of girl.
fair, fair.
But I think part of the challenge is maybe the music isn't as good or like the people are changing. Like I feel like one, music, in my opinion, is not as good now as maybe it was when we were growing up or, even when I was in college.
I agree.
And two, I think people, aren't as loose. They thinking about what people might think of them. They're a little like nervous or anxious or stuck up. Like they're not, I think people who just dance are like relaxed and just don't care, want to have fun. And I think we've lost some of that in our culture.
I don't know what happened. It's like growing, like when we were little, you would watch like music videos, and I saw a TikTok where it's like you would watch music videos from the early 2000s and the 90s,
Hmm.
and you think like, oh, like when I become a teenager, the club is gonna be like promiscuous, like with Nelly and
Hmm.
Timberland, or like Baby Boy with Beyonce Shump. Like you'd think that's what it's gonna be
Yes.
like, and then you go and it's like everyone, like you said, everyone's on their phone, chilling on the stand. And it's like I think it is a combination of like people, maybe like us fellas, we're trying to like look cool, but it's like
Hmm.
you spend all that time getting ready. We have to pay just to stand. It doesn't make it doesn't make sense. So yeah, I don't know.
Right?
And I've heard, I think Tyler was doing an interview and she said that like Americans are like that, but that where she's from in South Africa, the club is fun. So maybe it's like maybe
Oh.
it's us that's like boring, and then like other countries it's more like I wonder what it's like to party in like Europe or like Africa.
I wouldnd be surprised if it's an America problem.
Maybe,
It
maybe we're
it
a little
sounds
stuck
about
up
right.
sometimes.
Yeah. Like
But
I
yeah, I
was
think
just
the club is kind of like I'm like you, like I'll prefer like a lounge or like a kickback at somebody's house.
yes.
I know
Hmm.
the people, it's not congested. I agree. I agree. So the next trending topic is Will Smith. According to Variety, the fourth installment of the Bad Boys franchise, Bad Boys 4 Ride or Die, has currently made over 200 million worldwide at the box office. This has some
Wow.
people talking about whether or not Will Smith has made a comeback. Chris Rock's friend and actor Rob Schneider recently shared some strong feelings about Will Smith. Is Will Smith in his comeback era and in the good graces of the public eye again? Or is there still work that needs to be done on his part? What do you guys think? And did you see what Rob said about Will Smith?
I didn't see what Rob said.
No.
What did he say?
So he was on the radio or some type of podcast, and he was basically saying that like Will Smith is like a fraud. He's hiding who he really wants to be, who he really is. And like calling him like a lot of profanities, and like what he did at the Oscars was really messed up, and that there's still work that needs to be done on his part. And I was like, okay, clearly this person is Chris Rock's friend, and clearly
A little
he has some
bias.
feelings about Will Smith. And I guess it just caught me off guard because I feel like what Will Smith, I don't think anyone agrees what Will Smith done was right, even though I kind of like that he defended his wife, but that's not how you do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think because some time has passed and he did apologize, I don't know if he's apologized to Chris, but I feel like because he has apologized, does that mean that like he is in the good graces of the public? And because Bad Boys 4 is doing so well, do people not care as much what happened 2 years ago?
I think Will Smith is back, but I also think he never really fully left. So I live in
Yes.
LA. I work in entertainment. I was in LA, watched at an Oscars party when the slap happened. And I remember I was in a bar with all these people and we were like, wait, what just happened? Like, and the next day at my job, right, I was at Netflix, like everyone was talking about it. And there were people
Wow.
who had been at the Oscars talking about it. So like my perspective is I think maybe the industry, like the people that work in entertainment, care a lot more about the slap than the general public. Like, and I also think there was a bit of a divide. Like, some Black people, some women were like, oh, I like that Will defended Jada. And Chris Rock had a past of like making comments about Jada and her looks. And there's history that, like, I think the media and maybe the industry tried to make it seem like it was black and white, like Team Will, Team Chris Rock is the hero, right? He got that
Right.
big Netflix special. But I do think there are a lot of people that supported Will and never really left the fandom. So I'm not surprised that Bad Boys did really well because I think the general public, hey, they think of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, they think of Independence Day, like Will
Yeah.
Smith is a movie star and they still want to rock with him. So I do
Right.
hope that the industry and execs will realize, oh, we might not be happy with what Will Smith did, but clearly people don't care and want to see him in movies. So we should
Clearly.
keep working with
Right.
him.
Yeah, I agree with Shelby. He's a movie star and people are going to see him in a movie regardless. If anything, the slap and this comeback is making people want to see more of Will Smith. They're like, oh my gosh, Will Smith is back. And I will say, the slap is so iconic. Never forget. Like, that was amazing. Like, obviously, Will Smith should not have done that, but it was just incredible. What a
It was a
time.
moment, and it's one of those pop culture moments
Yeah.
where it's like you remember where you were,
Literally.
Right.
like the sad
Ugh.
pop culture moments, the good pop culture moments. Like it's like where were you when that slap was? Where were you when so and so did this? So it's like it will definitely
Mm-hmm.
go down in history. And
For
yeah, I think
sure.
he was getting a lot of. I wonder if it's like a community thing too, because I went to Hofstra. Hofstra's predominantly white. And I remember in my classes, like I was one of the few black students, and everybody was like dogging Will Smith. And I was like, does anybody else kind of like is okay with it? Like, no, he should get his Oscar taken away. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know there was so many
Yikes.
strong feelings about him. So I wonder if like there was a racial aspect too. But yeah,
Definitely.
I think so because I don't remember being in the barber shop and the guys being so anti. If I feel like if anything, black men, maybe I could say they were more so like because Jada did what she did, why did he do that? Like because of their controversial
They
relationship.
have a weird relationship, yeah.
Yeah,
The
like they were more so like I
entanglement,
feel like the black community
August will say, yeah.
the entanglement, like,
Oh
why
my
did you defend
gosh.
her? And I feel like the white people were kind of like, how dare you do that? So I don't know, it's very interesting, but yeah, clearly Bad Boys 4 is doing well. So I think the public has spoken for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will
And
say, I think that the Oscars banning him for 10 years is actually insanity. Isn't that so long? 10 years?
I feel
Like,
like
come
that's a
on.
little too much. Because like you ban him for 10 years, but then he can still win. That I didn't understand.
I feel like they wanted to make an example out of him, but something that I think is maybe why it could be a little racial is there have been plenty of people like Woody Allen or Mel Gibson that are Oscar winning uh directors, performers that are white men that have had issues And
Far
yes, it
worse
did
than
not,
slapping
yeah, than
someone.
slapping someone. And
Yeah.
yes, they didn't do something on live television, but they've done bad things. And have their Oscars been rescinded?
They've been
Have they
nominated for
been
more
banned
Oscars.
from the awards? So I
Yes.
think, unfortunately, non-black people ran with this and were like, oh my gosh, the Will Smith's the worst. It's like, relax. Like, I kid you not, I think this day after the slap, it was black colleagues that were the ones saying, oh, I think we need to look at this situation with more nuance, because I think everyone was ready to just turn on Will Smith so fast.
Yeah.
And like cancel him. And I feel like I think another reason why I didn't want to cancel him or I wasn't as mad as certain people were. I agree with what you said for sure. I think it's because it was his first like mess up. Like he had
Yes.
a squeaky clean image,
Mm-hmm.
good guy, and then he like, social media and Chris making jokes. It's like, okay, I had enough. So it's like we can
Mm-hmm.
give him a chance. That you can
Yeah.
a slap you should be able to come back from. The
Mm-hmm.
stuff that Harvey Weinstein did and Woody Allen, you can't come back from that.
No.
So I completely agree. I completely agree. Did you guys do an episode on the Oscars of the year of the slap?
No, we didn't have our podcast yet, so we have
Okay,
not. But we've done the last 2 years.
the last I gotta watch
Yes.
those. I gotta watch those.
Yes, and in our episode of the 2023 Oscars, we do talk about the slap because it was like the year right after it, and we're like, what are they gonna do? How are they gonna address the slap in any way?
Because the
So yeah.
ratings went up that year, like significantly, which
Yes.
is interesting. Because people were trying
Mm-hmm.
to see like, okay, what's gonna happen? Is there gonna be something else? So yeah, that's good.
Oh my
What is it? And I
gosh.
guess maybe it's the
Makes me
whole
sick.
like, he's not a politician. He brings something different to the table. He's rich. Like that was a big thing in my high school. Like I would always be like, oh, like why do you guys like him so much? Like, what is the appeal? Oh, he's rich. He's a good businessman. Last time I checked, he wasn't a good businessman. But
He's
okay,
not.
right. He's always going bankrupt. But let's roll with that.
He
Okay,
came from
how could
money.
that mean he came from money? And why is being rich a good criteria for being a president? Because with that mentality,
It's
that means
not.
anybody rich can be president. That means Kim Kardashian could be president because she's rich. So I didn't
Ugh.
understand it. Looking at the other,
Capitalism is a problem. Like, it has caused people to just think money is the end all be all, and it clouds their perspective, because most Republicans, I bet you, are voting Republican because they're like, oh, tax breaks, or oh, they're more favorable for the rich. They are ignoring the fact that, you know, voting someone like Trump won't be good for like immigrants or people of color or women. Like, they ignore all of the other bad things he does just because they're like, oh, we'll make it a tax break.
tax
Crazy.
break, or I don't know if you guys heard about like Sexy Red on a podcast. She was saying like, oh, I like Trump 2024 because and then the podcast host I think was like, oh, why? Like, why do you like Trump? And she was like, oh, because the stimulus check. He gave me the stimmy. And I'm like,
Oh,
I don't
Sexy
stop.
think
Red
that was
said
him.
that?
Yeah.
How embarrassing for her.
Huh.
Lost it,
Huh.
And
man.
my thing is like, what are you doing? You're about to ruin your whole fan base. One, two, the stimulus check. Okay, yeah, that was nice, but I don't think that was him. I think that was the government. Like, I don't
It
think.
happened during his presidency, but don't give credit to him.
No.
Ugh.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that was another trending topic a couple months ago. Yeah, she was like, a lot of people have that mentality too. Like because their money was good, then okay, he's a good president. But it's like
Oof.
I don't think that's a good. Like what you said, there's other things to consider.
Yeah, when thinking about voting.
The next trending topic is the Kendrick Lamar concert in Los Angeles. On Juneteenth, the 17-time Grammy winner performed
Yes.
in Inglewood at the Kia Forum, where he brought out Dr. Dre, YG, Russell Westbrook, Tyler the Creator, Steve Lacy, and more. He performed the Drake diss track Not Like Us, not once, not twice, but 5 times in a row. Celebrities like LeBron James and The Weeknd were also in attendance and watched the show, and the concert was streamed live on Amazon Prime Video. Have you guys watched a live stream? And can you believe he actually performed the song that many times?
I have not watched the live stream, but I need to. I mean, I really like Not Like Us, if anyone thinks Drake is winning this beef, you are mistaken. You are mistaken. I can't even remember any of Drake's songs and how they go, whereas Not Like Us is playing everywhere, right? Literally
That's how you
everywhere.
know he won.
Yes, he won. He won. And yeah, if I was in the crowd, play Not Like Us 5 times. I'll go crazy every single time.
I was gonna ask you guys too if you guys saw it, like if you're gonna try to get tickets to go.
I was at a Juneteenth party in LA, like a day party, and everyone was talking about the concert and people were like trying to get tickets. I ended up not going, but I know people that did. It just looks so fun. I like am a little disappointed I was not able to go.
Right.
But
I heard it did sell out really quickly, so I was like, damn.
yeah, so people were trying to like do resale and figure out a way to like get in.
Right.
But
No,
it's a
that was
great time to be in LA for sure. Like LA
you
is having
can't
a
get more
moment,
black than
Hendrix having
that.
a moment.
You can't get like Inglewood diss track on Juneteenth.
You
He had
can't.
like
What
all
more
of
can you ask
TikTok on
for?
stage with him. It was amazing. I haven't watched the live stream either, but I was just watching all the TikToks and I was like, I wish I was there. But once I found out that Kendrick and Drake were gonna be in a diss, like they were beefing, I was like, yeah, Kendrick's gonna win. Because while I love Drake, he's not on Kendrick Lamar's level. There's a reason why Kendrick has a
No.
Pulitzer Prize, I think. And like he's like cool with Jay-Z and Beyonce loves him. So I knew I knew Kendrick was gonna win. And you have people in the club dancing to a diss track.
That doesn't happen a lot, right?
That's a lot.
No.
Somebody check on Drake though. Like, is he?
I'm concerned. Yeah, because everyone was saying that there were so many like celebs and athletes and rappers at Kendrick's concert that clear and they're clearly picking sides. Like you're not going to go to that concert, right, if you're a Drake stan. And I think Drake is slowly losing allies. Yikes.
Because LeBron is famously like friends with Drake. So I was like,
I
ooh,
know,
that's
and he was there.
interesting. So
Yeah,
I'm
and you said The Weeknd was also there, and The Weeknd is also a Canada guy, like big Drake fan right there.
yes, once
Not
used to
looking good.
work with him, I think almost joined his label. So I'm curious. I'm seeing like I wonder if Drake is gonna. You can't really respond to Not Like Us. It's kind of like a done deal. But I'm curious to see like what he's gonna do. Is he gonna like collab with anybody? Like, is he gonna drop an album and like talk smack? So curious to see. But yeah, Kendrick. I'm looking forward to his album that I think he's dropping soon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Next trending topic, Bad Bunny, Beyonce, Usher, Taylor Swift. From 2022 to now, it seems like every major music artist is going on tour. How many
Mm-hmm.
artists have you gotten the chance to see? And what is your favorite concert or festival you've been to or let me start with that. How many artists have you gotten the chance to see these past 2 years?
Ooh. Shelby and I, we did go to the Renaissance tour last fall.
Which city did you guys go
Yes.
to?
Inglewood.
LA.
Yeah.
That's
Nice. I went to
right.
Toronto.
Ooh,
Oh,
Yeah.
how was
fun.
Toronto?
That was fun. And the tickets were much cheaper than
I
like
bet.
America. I was like, ooh,
Wow.
maybe I need to go out the country to get cheaper. But then I guess you just end up spending it with like the flight and whatever else. But it
Yeah.
was so much fun. I was hoping that she was gonna bring out somebody, hopefully bring out Blue Ivy, but such a good show.
Mm.
Nice. That was the benefit of seeing it in LA. We weren't at the birthday show where she brought out like everybody,
Oh,
but
okay.
we
I was gonna ask.
did um in the beginning have like DJ Khaled opening and bring out like different like rappers and performers, a lot of LA people like Roddy Rich. So that was cool. And then we did get
That's
to
really
see
cool.
Blue Ivy dance.
Hey, you see that's the best part. That's the best part. That's awesome.
My ears, I never heard a noise so loud until I heard the fans screaming for Blue Ivy. Like everyone was like, my ears
Crazy.
popped. It was crazy.
I
Everyone
love
was so
that.
excited to see her. She was awesome. It was so fun.
I love that people like gave her props. Like
Mm-hmm.
once she got the moves down, then people were like, "We love you. Ah, you're so awesome." So I'm glad that she she got that all that love. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yes, it was so good.
What so do you have a favorite festival that you've been to these past 2 years?
Ooh. These past 2 years. So, I'm planning on going to Outside Lands, which is a San Francisco festival.
Nice.
So I'll be there in August. And actually was traveling abroad earlier this year. I was visiting a friend in Buenos Aires, Argentina, so that was super cool.
Ooh,
And I didn't realize this, but Lollapalooza, which is based in Chicago, they have festivals all over the world. So I got to see like Lollapalooza Buenos Aires. So that was really cool.
that's
And
awesome.
the headliners for that Lollapalooza was SZA and Sam Smith. Isn't that crazy? All the
That's
way
a
in
good
Argentina.
lineup. I wouldn't
Yes,
expect Argentina to have that. Okay.
I know. So that was, I mean, that was a highlight. Yeah, it was awesome. And plus they were like dancing around with the Argentina flag, and it's just cool being in that environment, seeing, a concert in a foreign country.
I love the whole different continent. That's awesome.
So
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
Are there any, have you guys ever been or would you go to Coachella?
Have not been, want to go.
Yes.
Really want
Same,
to go. This
same.
year, the lineup didn't really appeal to me, but I'm like, I gotta go while I'm in LA, I'm so close. This is
Yes,
the
I'm
place to do
still
it.
jealous of everyone that got to see Baychella.
Beyonce. I know.
I missed out on an opportunity of a lifetime. Like that was the one year to go. Like, oh
Yes,
my gosh.
yes. Oh, that would
All
have
the
been so
headliners since have just not been the same.
No.
like, is it worth thousands of dollars saved up to go all the way over there?
And not see Beyonce? Like,
And not,
no.
do you feel like artists, why do you feel like artists, so many artists are going on tour right now? Do you feel like it's a little bit too much or is it fair game?
I think post-pandemic, there was a need. Like people were like craving live music again. So I respect it. I respect the hustle. Like 2022 and 2023, we were out there going to concerts a lot. This year, I have not been to, as many festivals and concerts like Laura, but right immediately post-pandemic when people were back touring again, I was there. We saw The Weeknd, we saw Lizzo, we saw Beyonce.
Oh,
I
I
saw a
love
couple,
that.
yeah, I saw some like gospel artists like Kirk Franklin and Maverick City Music out in
Woo.
LA. Like, yeah, I was going to a lot of concerts.
Yeah,
So
that
I,
was me
I
last
like it.
year.
Hmm.
SZA, Beyonce, Drake,
Wow.
Romeo Santos. Yeah, it's a lot of different people.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's fun. But then and then it's like, are there artists that you haven't gotten the chance to see that you would like to see?
Hmm.
Yes. So I feel like I've seen most of my favorite artists. I mean, will Rihanna ever go on tour again? We don't know. I would love to see her. But Rihanna's, having
That would be fun.
babies
That would be fun.
with their Fenty hairline, who knows if she'll ever go back on tour. But she would be so fun to see. Shelby has seen Bruno Mars, but I really want to see Bruno Mars. And he's going on some tour dates later this year. So we might see him again.
Ooh.
Yeah, so those are a couple of people I'm looking out for.
That's awesome. Would you ever? It's like super expensive, but would you guys, if you knew your favorite artist was doing the halftime show, would you go to the Super Bowl and get ticket if you could?
I remember, Shelby, do you remember
Ooh.
when the Super Bowl was in New York
Oh
and Bruno
no.
Mars was a halftime performer? Do you remember that? And I
Yeah.
was like, parents look into tickets, and they did, but it was like thousands of dollars, like
I
tens
didn't
of
know that it
thousands of
was so
dollars.
expensive.
Yeah, they were like,
Crazy.
girl, we're staying inside. Like, watch it from the TV.
It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So if I could afford it and it was a good performance, I would go. But also, since like we grew up sports fans, I'd also want it to ideally be like a team I like playing in the game. So I'm really making the most of it. Like if it was
Right.
Patriots versus like another team that I hate, I'd be like, ugh. But if it was a good matchup and then a good halftime, show performance, count me in. Like this past year
Hey.
would have been good for you, Laura, right? The Niners were in it.
Ooh, and
Usher was
Usher.
performing, and it was
Yeah,
in Vegas. Like this one would
that
have
would
been
have
a
been
good one.
fun. That would have
Yeah,
been
this
Right.
year
And
would
fun.
have
then you
been
can
good.
make a whole trip out of it. You can, experience Vegas. And then, yeah,
Yes.
this year was actually good. New Orleans will be interesting. I wonder who they're going to have. Yes. The next trending topic I wanted to discuss is child actors and the Quiet on Set documentary. Have you guys seen the documentary? And do you agree with Ariana Grande, who recently went on a podcast and said that there should be therapy at least twice a week for child actors?
Yes, we've seen it. We actually have a podcast episode on it. So go to our podcast, Sisters Who Watch, and listen
Oh, okay. I'm
to
late.
our
I'm late.
Quiet on Set review. Yes, we watched and reviewed it.
So definitely tune
I
in, guys. Definitely tune
Yes, definitely tune into that. I'm aligned with Ariana Grande, to be honest. Like after watching Quiet on Set and
in.
realizing
Oof.
what these child actors go through, the trauma, they need as much therapy as they can. And ideally, the companies that took advantage of them or the perpetrators, or I don't know how you can do it, but they should be paying for it. Like Drake Bell should not have to pay for his own therapy due to that guy. Like someone else should have, ideally, I don't know how the system works, and I don't
Right.
think that's how it does work, but there should be a way. If you've worked on a Disney or Nick show and you're going through something, like there should be a way to have them pay for your therapy.
Yes, like
Yeah.
healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and like I watched it with my mom, and my mom was shook. She was shook, and I was just like, because there was always talks like I remember being in middle school and like friends showing me videos of like those compilation videos of like weird scenes like chopped up, and I'm like, this is kind of weird. But then like we never really spoke about, like we would like watch those videos and like we never really like spoke about it again, never went in depth. So I always had a weird feeling about Dan Schneider, but I was like, okay, if we all know that he's weird, what's taking so long for him to be like dealt with the way Harvey Weinstein is dealt with? Like, what's taking so long? So it was just so eye-opening. And I agree. I think Nickelodeon or whatever studio company that you're working for, you
Mm-hmm.
should have, definitely, you're working full-time. So I'm assuming you're getting benefits. And those benefits is healthcare, and therapy isn't always included, but it should be, especially for minors. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just those it breaks my heart that those children weren't protected.
Yeah, for
100%
sure.
agree. Like we can't look at those Nick shows the same, which is
No.
crazy because that was our childhood. Like we watched all of those. I remember I loved all that and Drake and Josh and iCarly.
Victorious,
Yeah.
Yeah,
iCarly.
Amanda show,
And
everything.
now I'm like, I can't look at any scenes with Ariana Grande and like her feet again. That's crazy. Like I did not realize that they were like fetishizing her. Like as a kid, it goes over
Ew.
your head, but as
So
now
weird.
as an adult, you reflect and you're like, that is so disgusting.
Because it's like Nickelodeon, I feel like Disney Channel is a little bit more like cleaner, and
Yes,
Nickelodeon is
Nickelodeon
like
was edgy.
goofy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's okay to be edgy, it's okay to be funny, but it's like there's a line, and
Mm-hmm.
you can you can I don't want to say you can cross the line with adults, but you can be more edgy with adults, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Still being appropriate. Like kind of I think SNL does a good job of that. They're very edgy, but I hope everything's appropriate over there at NBC.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with children, you have to be very delicate. And I think he just I have to watch you guys' episode on Quiet on Set, the review, but it's really sad. And I hope that it's sad that so many child actors have this same story, and I feel like only a few make it out like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
without unscathed. Like Zendaya seems to be okay, but that's one person.
Yeah,
you
it's
know
you're more likely to be messed up than make it out unscathed,
Yeah.
and I was watching a
sadly.
lot of TikToks. Someone was saying Disney Channel's next. I was like, "Ooh."
Oh,
Oh no.
So
Oof,
I
no
hope,
one's safe. I hope that's not true, but yeah, no one's safe.
right. What about you, Laura?
yeah. It's so disturbing. I mean, and the man who preyed on Drake Bell, he was working on some Disney Channel show, so Disney could easily be next, right? That was
Yes, I forgot
in
about that.
yes. And
Mm.
yeah. I mean, therapy is literally the least they can do. So yeah, Ariana Grande's right. It's just really disturbing. Yeah, that mini series. I'm so glad that it blew up the way that it did because it was right, just a small thing, but then everyone was talking about it. So Shelby and I were like, "Oh, we have to watch and review this." And yeah, thank God it happened because now all these people are getting a voice and hopefully there is change coming to children's TV because what the fact that Drake Bell was going through that while he was filming Drake and Josh is so crazy to me. Because I'm like,
Ooh,
how was he functioning filming a
I
TV show
know.
during all that abuse? It's just really, it's so disturbing. So I'm glad it came out, and I'm glad that hopefully change is on its way.
Same. And like I work behind the scenes. So I hope that like, yeah, I just hope that things change. And I hope that if there are any
Mm-hmm.
programs to help child actors and empower them and keep them safe, I would love to
Yeah.
join. I would love to join because this can't keep happening. We always talk about like the Macaulay Culkins, the Lindsay Lohan, Amanda Bynes,
Mm-hmm.
Demi Lovato. This can't keep this has been going on
Yes.
since the
Yeah.
80s. We make jokes, we always hear about it, but it's like, no, this can't be
This is a
it can't
problem.
continue. Yeah. The next trending topic, I've seen some people on social media say that there is nothing a celebrity or influencer would sell or endorse that would make me want to buy it. What are some overrated celebrity influencer products? And what are some celebrity influencer products you actually do like?
I mean, do we consider Rihanna an influencer? Like,
Hmm.
I feel like, right, she's more of like a musician who now has brand, like more things added to her brand. But I love, Fenty lip gloss. I'm a stan. So
Okay.
I feel like that is this one celebrity product I use a lot. Like, I'm not really someone that is like, oh, a celebrity endorsed this, I have to get it. But I feel like when all like the Fenty Beauty stuff was happening a few years ago, I was like, I gotta try this. And the lip gloss is great. So I'm definitely a fan of that. I'm not really a Kardashian fan. So to me, all the like Kylie lip kit stuff, I think is crazy. I'm like, she has lip fillers. Why are you getting a lip kit to have your lips look like her? It's not real. So that I just
No.
don't understand.
That's
I've
just a
never
good
bought it.
point.
I don't know how it works, but I always found it crazy that someone would sell a lip kit when she gets her lips done. Like
Why
there's
are you
no
selling
way your lips
something?
are ever gonna look like that unless you get work.
I never thought about that.
No.
Wow, that's such a good
Yeah.
point. Are you guys more likely to buy something if your favorite influencer, like if Monet or someone equivalent to Monet that you guys watch, are you more influenced to buy it if they endorse it, like your favorite TikToker, or not even?
No, not really. Yeah, kind of like what Shelby was saying. I'm buying stuff off, like the discount rack. So
Right, right.
it's not like I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, this TikToker endorsed this. I need to buy it. That's not really me, but I will say I do want to try Beyonce's Sacred. I do want to try that. Like
Okay.
that video
Hmm.
of Beyonce doing her hair on her
Showing her hair
Instagram.
for the first time.
Yes. So good. I love that video.
That went
So I do
viral.
want to try that. I do want to try that. But besides that, celebrity influencer products, I agree. Fenty has some good stuff too, but I'm not buying it. No, no.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. For me, I was I was like a couple years ago, I was just going through all the skincare products. So I was like, let me just try everything because I want something that works.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been using I think Cetaphil really did the job for me. And
Mm-hmm.
like double cleansing. Like I think it was like Jackie Aina that was like, you gotta double cleanse and then go in with
Oh.
the other stuff. I was like, oh, let me try that. But Fenty Skin hasn't made me break out, so I'm assuming it's
Mm.
working. But yeah, I love Fenty Skin. And so I think it depends what it is. I think it depends who the TikToker is, and like what you were saying, Shelby. Like she doesn't even have naturally voluptuous lips, so why am I gonna? But like, okay, if you work out in the gym, you look good.
Yes.
You're partnering with the gym brand. Okay, yeah, I like those shorts or the sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
He looks cool. I want to look like that. So I think it depends on who it is for me. But for sure.
I completely agree. Like, I probably more likely if a friend recommends something to use it because I'm like, I trust you, I know you, I actually know what you're doing. With influencers, to your point, Cervantes, it's like hard to know sometimes. It's like, are you actually like living this way? Are you actually using this? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but like even with Beyonce, I'm like, are you really using Sacred? Like, you have so many people to help you with your hair. And if like I use it, is my hair gonna look like that? I'm skeptical. So I think
Right.
anything a
That's a good point.
celebrity or influencer sells, you kind of have to take with a grain of salt, unless
Yeah.
you really trust them, you like them. Trust with air quotes, because can you really trust a celebrity or
A
influencer?
stranger.
Yeah,
That's a
right.
good
You don't really
point.
know them.
That's a good point. I wanted to like surprise my mom, like, oh, they made, like, do you like Sacred? Like, are you gonna get Sacred? She's like, no, I'm not buying it just because it's Beyonce. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like she's not, not rushing to buy it. And it's probably what you said. She has a different hair texture. She's a celebrity. She has people helping her. So it's like, is she really using it? And then I know Rihanna got some backlash because in her first campaign for Fenty hair, she was wearing a wig, and people were like, what are you doing? Then she did the natural hair, and then it's like, okay, maybe we will buy. So, are you really using this product? You have to believe it. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And are there any? Have you guys like? I know everyone's talking about the Hailey Bieber smoothie at Erewhon. Have you tried the Erewhon smoothies that people have been going crazy over?
I'm not a smoothie girl, so I have not, but I've been
Okay,
to Erewhon and I have gotten like the $20 soup. Like they have all these crazy, like expensive things. So you
is the
have to go
food
at
worth
least
it?
once in LA.
Is it
The
good?
food's solid, but is it worth like triple the price that you would pay at a normal place? No. You
Okay.
more go to like sightsee, see a celeb for the vibes. Like, Laura, you've been. I took you.
Yeah, we went to Erewhon once and the prices are so outrageous. I'm like, how are these places in business? Who's actually buying stuff here?
That's
It's
insane. It's kind of like
unbelievable.
Whole Foods, but worse, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, way worse.
Because Whole
definitely.
Foods
Twice
is
as expensive.
expensive, but it's not like crazy, crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, I was wondering because I know everyone was talking like the Hailey Bieber smoothie. It's like amazing, but then it's like, okay, it's healthy and it may taste good, but is it worth $20? I don't.
No.
No, no.
Yeah, but this was so fun. This was a nice switch up. I
Likewise,
usually do one
yes.
topic at a time, so this is fun to do like several in one episode.
Speed round.
Yes,
Yes.
we should do this
Eh,
again. This would be
yes, would
Yes,
love that.
100%. We'd love
Happy to
to.
collaborate anytime. You're also welcome on our
Anytime.
podcast.
I
And
would
this
love
was a
it.
good reunion. Just so the
Yes.
audience
Wow.
knows, like, we went to school with Cervantes years ago. You and Laura were in
Elementary
the same
school.
class.
Yes. I left in
Kids.
2009. So I think that's the last time I saw you guys.
Wow. That's so.
Crazy.
You guys graduated from Chapel, right? You stayed.
No, I
Shelby
left
didn't, yeah.
in sixth grade. And Laura, you
Okay.
left in fourth, so you didn't
Yeah,
graduate
I
either.
left after fourth grade.
Oh, me
Yeah.
too. Okay.
Yes. Wow, that's the last time we've seen each
Shout
other,
out to
That's
guys.
Chapel
crazy.
School.
That's crazy.
Chapel
Oh my
School
God.
in
Oh my God.
Bronxville.
Always fun to have Chapel people on the podcast. It's so fun. I've had
Yes.
Rashad, I had Nikita. I don't know
Wow,
if you remember Kelsey
yes.
James.
Yes, of
Had
That's
course.
so
her. So it's
crazy.
always a nice
Wow.
reunion. Please tell us where everyone can watch and what your podcast is about.
Yes. So we're Sisters Who Watch. We are an entertainment review podcast where we give our diverse perspectives on diverse content. We review everything from trashy reality shows like Love is Blind and The Bachelor to award-winning movies like Barbie and American Fiction. You name it, we watch it, we review it. We recently have had guests that were on TV shows. So, like Caress from The Circle season 6, we interviewed her about her experience. If you
Nice.
like Bravo and The Real Housewives, we interviewed Charisse Jackson Jordan from The Real Housewives of Potomac. So,
Okay.
we are switching it up. We're getting some good guests and getting some tea about these reality shows. And Laura, do you want to tell everyone where they can follow us?
Yes. So, and also to clarify, Shelby and I are real life sisters. We are biological
Yes.
sisters. Some people don't realize that. They just
Really?
think we're friends.
Can't
And
you
it's like,
tell?
Twins, twins.
yes, we get twins all the time. Shelby is older, but we're actually sisters. Same mom, same dad, grew up together. So we have this bond like no other. And we started the podcast because we'd call each other on the phone, being like, oh my gosh, what did you think of this episode? What do you think of this movie? And we'd just be talking for hours. And then we both really wanted a creative outlet to just, you know, do outside of work, do something fun that we really enjoy and are passionate about. And we're like, we gotta do a podcast. We gotta do a podcast. So that's how Sisters Who Watch was born. And yeah, you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, YouTube. We're also on YouTube as well. So go follow us at Sisters Who Watch on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn. We're there, so go support us and give us a follow. Give us 5 stars wherever you listen. That would mean so much to us. And we also have listener support. We have a Zelle. So you can find all that information on our link tree and on our website, sisterswhowatch.com.
I love that. You guys are so like organized. I'm never that organized.
Thank
So
you. We try.
We try.
Thank you so much. And people can watch too, like the episodes on YouTube.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
we
on
have video podcasts on Spotify.
Yes. So when you go on Spotify and you click listen and you click play, you'll see the video of us. Yes.
Nice. Okay. I was listening to some episodes, so I got to keep up. I got to keep my binge listening. That's
Yes,
awesome.
Thank you.
Good. And I want to hear from you guys. So if you're listening to this episode right now on a podcast platform, be sure to leave a rating on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you're watching this episode on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you click the notification bell up top so you're notified whenever I upload a new episode. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.